Welcome back. Today we're going to make a start on the wiring and get the steering wheel and brake pedal in place. So then, welcome back. After the success of putting the engine in, I've still got to, like I said in the last video, we've still got to lift it up a bit, but unfortunately I've run out of gas. Today's a bank holiday, so I can't get any until next week. So, whilst we're waiting on gas, what we're going to do is we're going to jump on the inside of the car. I want to get the steering wheel right first. It's not actually sitting on the spline, so we're going to pull the back bolts and the rigging off that's holding it in place. Get it forced actually onto there, or put it on properly, and we'll put it together. Then we're going to focus on the clutch pedal on the pedal box itself. I may be able to modify it for it to stay on there. I'd like it to stay on there and basically just put a servo behind it, which would be quite nice. I've not decided on the servo I'm using yet, so I'm unsure what I'm going to do. And then we're going to have a look at the wiring. We've got the alpha wiring here, and I've got the rover wiring over there. Somehow they've got to meet somewhere and work. I'm not looking forward to that. But let's get cracking with the steering wheel. So, what I'm trying to figure out is obviously this is the brake and master cylinder combo. It also has the clutch pedal attached. Now, I've heard a couple of people say to use the MGF just as bottom part here, because apparently it's got a retaining spring on it, which maybe not be a bad idea, but I'm thinking I could probably get away with it. If I get the slave cylinder I found, and basically we'll bolt it onto here, and then we can put like a retaining spring up here or something, keep this bit of metal, put a retaining spring through the hole or something maybe, just to pull it back once I put my foot on the clutch. I'm unsure. I'd like to keep the original sort of setup really, but if not I can remove this bar here, take the clutch pedal off completely, and we can just go with a completely standalone clutch pedal. I found a floor mounted one, but I just don't know how much space I'm going to have on the floor, so I'm unsure yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in, and then we're going to lift the steering column back up to where the steering column should be. We're probably going to bolt it up. These are capturing nuts here. We're probably going to bolt it all back up just so I can see. I've attached the steering column properly now. It's actually locked into its own little teeth, so it just needs a bolt putting up. But we won't do that because obviously we'll have to take it all back off again. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this pedal box in, and then basically go from there. I'm thinking I'm just going to have to remove this because there's no retaining spring on it or anything. It's going to be a nightmare, so I might just have to find some way of doing it, but we'll see. I know there's no point doing this yet, but I want to get a feeling for where everything goes. Unfortunately, some of the loom isn't obviously going back in because I've got to mate it with the new ECU and to the alpha harness. So what we'll do is we'll lay it out first, and I don't think I'll be cutting any wires today because I want to make sure I've got it right first. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay everything out, and then once we've laid everything out, we'll attach the bits I know we can attach onto it and see what we've got. I'm pretty sure I haven't cut any wires in. The one I did cut was the actual main feed, which goes into like a big fuse box, which I'll put somewhere, like a separate fuse box. But lovely. It's going to be a headache of a day because I don't like wiring. But let's get cracking. So it looks like it's just become more complicated than it actually needed to be. So I've just gone and grabbed what I thought was just one harness, obviously in two pieces for the Alpha engine. The problem is I've got one wiring loom for an engine, another one for an engine. Now, when I bought the engine, I was told there are little wires for it, which it looks like I do. I've got some more over there, but these are they're slightly different. They're not 100% different, but they're slightly different. The one side's got one sensor more, and the same on this one. So this left hand one here has got some more sensors on than this one. Now until I actually get the engine where I've got all the sensors in, everything's in place, I don't actually know, which is going to cause more complications. But I'm going to finish laying out all the wires so then I can see which wires I don't need. So that harness at the front currently, the one over here, is the original one out of the Metro. It seems like there's no wires on there I actually need. It's all wired into its own ECU, which then would go back to the fuse box and main power relay. So there's nothing in that section there I actually need. So one of these two looms here in front of me fits this engine. I'm pretty sure they'll both fit this engine, but I'm having to guess one's got a crank sensor and one's got a crank position sensor, maybe something. There will be slight differences in it. So it's possible that that loom's maybe off a Fiat and that one's actually off an Alpha. I don't know. I'll have to ask the gentleman I bought it off and see what we can come up with. But we'll carry on laying out the wires. We know that we've got two ECU wires in. We've got another bundle of wires over there, which I'll grab now, but I'm pretty sure that's just power feeds and that. think I found the main feed into the ECU, which is the one I need. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all the shrouding off just back a bit, just so I can see if that plug there goes into that plug there, we found the main feed in, which is the one we have to hijack into to get our ECU to work. So basically it goes in, and then it'll fire out of that one, something like that. I've managed to trace most of the wires I need back. It's only a temporary thing, a thing basically so I can understand what I need if I need to order anything. So I need to order some plugs and things. There's some plugs I've not plugged in, but they go to the other side of the dash. The main problem is this one here, which is the one for the immobilizer. Now, I can find all the wires coming this way. Some obviously go to the fuel pump, so some go to the ECU. It's the ones that go back that way I can't find. If anyone's got any idea what I do, I was told I can just not plug it in, but surely that means there's a component missing in the circuit, so maybe it wouldn't fire. Maybe I need to rewire it. I'm really unsure, but if someone could let me know, that would be super helpful. But I think we're going to leave the wiring like that for now. I think I'll leave it lay out on the floor, because, well, I don't know yet. Well, we'll tidy it up anyway. We'll have to relay it out anyway before. I just wanted to make sure that nothing had gone walkabouts when all my parts were told. It doesn't look like there is. All the lights are there. So I'm just waiting to hear back from the loom for the Alfa Romeo engine, because that's gone in. So I know it's this plug here. That plug there, that's going to be our main feed into our ECU. So it'll be a fact of stripping all the wires back and finding what does what. All the lights, obviously they're fine. There's a main fuse plug down there. That one there, that's the main fuse plug. So, let's get cracking. Right, so as I've got no welding gas, we still need to do a lot of work on the engine side. Unfortunately, I've just looked now. I've actually dropped the car onto its where it should be sat, not on axle stands or anything, and the gearbox is actually too low for drive shaft. So we've still got a lot of work to do up the front, but unfortunately I can't do anything because I've got no gas. So what I'm going to do now is, I know it may sound sort of a bit premature, but I'm actually going to put the bumper on and the rear lights, and then I'm going to try and sort the rear tailgate out. So basically there'll be a piece there. Obviously we won't cut it all the way down to length because it's the rest of the car's not at height yet. But I want to see if I've got somewhere I can maybe mount some brackets so it actually folds down like a trunk lid. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the rear bumper, and then we might just clamp it on or put some self-tappers. I think there's a load of self-tappers that go on top to hold it in place. It'll catch on the wheels, but we already know we've got to trim some off. We've still got to do some body work. We've still got to do a lot of body work in fact. But I want to get it to the point where when I'm ready to do all the trim along the top and basically getting it all level, I want to be able to just come around and do it all in one go. So I want the hatch on. So we're going to take that off first, and then we'll probably put it over there on the things. We've got to try and get the rear window out. I don't want to smack it. I do actually want it out. So we're going to get the rear window out, and then we're going to bring it over. We're going to take some measurements. We're going to cut it high, so we might just cut it at the bottom of the window sort of height, and then basically go ahead and sort of mock it in place. But I'm going to put the rear bumper and lights on first. Let's get cracking. I've managed to cut my boot, or trunk lid, or whatever you want to call it, to the right size. I'm going to have to find some hinges. I'm thinking sort of like ones off maybe a Hilux or the big 4x4, and we'll rig them up so they're on the inside so you can't see them, because the hinges I've got for it, obviously, yeah, they work, but it needs to sort of fold down and sort of come up in the same sort of fashion, like a sort of cupboard door in a way. And the ones I've got won't do any good. It's a short video today. The wiring didn't take as long as I thought it would, and I know I've not done anything to it, but I needed to make sure that I found the ECU power feed plug I was told I needed to find, which I think I found. So the next steps are, obviously when we come back, hopefully we'll get some gas, is we'll carry on the front. I've just looked at it, I do have to lift the engine up, but hopefully it's just a gearbox size I've got to lift up, and then we can start welding. And once we've got everything in place and it's all nice and strong and everything's done, there's not too much more fabrication. Like I said, I've got to move the ones on the front, redo this bar because it's sitting too high on one side, so I've got to cut a little bit off the one side to get it to sit level, because as you can see it sits high on this side but it doesn't actually sit high on this side, so it doesn't touch, and it also needs to go in a bit. So we're going to bring it down a little bit so it actually sits in flush with the rest of the car. It's sticking out too far, it's probably my fault, but we're going to do that, and then we'll crack on. We've got to make some plates for them. We've got to make some plates for the rear. I dropped that. So I've got to make some plates for the rear, so the wheels don't catch, because they're currently catching on the old brackets for the hydraulic units. But apart from that, we are done for the day. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the like button, drop a comment, and feel free to subscribe. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.